So, welcome, dear souls. How are we doing out there right now? So, I want to drop in and do an energy update. I'm recording this on the 12th of November, 2025. And instantly, I'm getting this sign of time is the illusion. Okay, so I've given a date. However, time can be accessed through being in the present moment. We can access our past and we access our future through the present moment of being in our body. Okay, so this has literally landed us straight into the deep end. So it really gets us to the ability to clear old patterns, to release us from pain, through hurt, through karmic cycles and belief systems. And it's literally, you can't make these things up really. The karmic board clearing. So I'm going to show the card for those that are watching this. For those listening, it is literally the karmic border clearing. It's about releasing you of what serves you so you can experience love. And for me, love is about unconditional love. Many of us have been shown love, but it was never love. It was never pure love, because pure love is unconditional. And a lot of the time, love is given conditionally. That you feel like to receive something, you have to give something back. Okay. And there was conditions for you had to do stuff to receive stuff. And so unconditional love is recognizing that you are already love, that you are already unconditional love. And actually, this is about the process of the healing that we are going through, is about remembering what's already within us. We do not have to attain it from anything or anyone from outside of ourselves. It's already within us. And I see that in our bodies. I see it as the light that feeds our mitochondria right down to that cellular deep, deep level. That's unconditional love. And when we connect into this, we shift and we can heal. And so we start to let go of the layers, the belief systems, the BS that has this layered front, like a scab around our bodies as protection. And we have needed that protection. So I'm not mocking this protection. Okay. It's really, really important to share this, because many of us have had to fall into protective ways of being. And we don't even necessarily be conscious of it. It's just happened, especially if it started early on in life. You've had to protect yourself. And this comes out in many, many forms. It can become the empath, where they take on responsibility of everything around them. They're reading the situation, they're reading the room, they're reading the environment they're in, because behind that is the amygdala and the hypothalamus going, am I safe? And so this is a beautiful gift when we become conscious of it. So for instance, I'll explain it from my perspective, is that I can pick up through my body what is going on around me and the emotion of somebody, and I can feel what's going on in their body as well. Now, if I hadn't got the healthy boundaries and the discernment of being able to tune into my body, knowing what is mine and what is not mine, I would just be taking it all on, okay? And I'd be exhausted. And that is what I have done. Also, belief patterns, when things start going wrong in relationships, I naturally assume it's my fault. The instant default is me, it's like, what have I done wrong? Okay. And so we will have many, many patterns that we have accumulated and equally inherited through our generations. And there's a shit load of trauma that has gone through our generations, especially through the feminine line. Okay. And this feminine line comes through all of us. It comes through our mitochondria, our DNA. All right. So they are proving this, that mitochondria DNA carries up to 50 generations of trauma. For me, on the body, it just takes me to whenever that trauma began, and it could be thousands and thousands of years of whenever we became separated to our truth, to who we truly are as a soul, as a spirit in this vessel, this human being. And when we have become separated from our higher self, from our soul, from our sovereignty. So this can go back many, many, many millennia, okay? And which then leads me back to time. Time isn't linear. And so when we tune into our conscious body, we can access that millennia before. We can access millennia to come. Who knows? We might be the past of our future. All right? So in every conscious moment, we can change. We can shift. We can realize when we become disconnected from self, disconnected from our truth, from our power, and reclaim it every present moment, every conscious breath. And for me, this is coming into the heart. This is the heart chakra. It's called the Anahata, which means unstruck. For me, before that means you couldn't really get hurt or unhurt, unstruck. It's deeper than that. This is your sovereignty. This is your power. This is your pureness. This is your innocence that's in your heart. And everything you know is encoded in here. It's not about opening up and receiving out and trying to connect to something greater. It's already within you. And actually, when you're connecting purely through your heart, you know you're connecting to the pureness of what is truth and those distortions, which I will explain in another time in terms of how when you do meditations and you do this spiritual work, you're opening, if you open yourself up, you're not entirely sure, are you being connected to the highest and greatest good? And I have been shown that. And through that really miserable experience, what I have seen is that, and the blessing and the wisdom from that is that you connect into your heart through the light that's in your heart in every present moment. And through that, you expand your resonance, like you're increasing the beacon of who you are to become an affiliation to what you're wishing to connect to. And so it's like a water drop connects with another water drop. Eventually it becomes the ocean. It's still that water drop, yet it's an affiliation with a unity. It's a unified field of that molecular structure. And water, I mean, it's incredible. That you could go on, there's so much you could understand yourself on a deeper level. And just saying that now is the water in our bodies, we're 70% water, is like up to 90% 92 in our brains. The quality of water that we need to be drinking and hydration is the carrier of our health and the wisdom that's in there. And so there is so much that we can start to really try and understand about the power that we are within our bodies. And so part of this energy update, as you can see, it's literally flying in, but it will all start to come together, is that actually we are here now to have to let go. We have to recognize the power of letting go. We need to recognize and discern what is fear and what is love, unconditional love. And even though fear feels exceptionally real, because it literally sends through the amygdala, goes into the body feels it, and then the body feels it, well, it must be true then, so it goes back up to the brain. And so the way we have to break this pattern is through consciousness, through pattern breaking. Even just changing your pattern slightly during your day. When you get up, do you look to your phone, or do you just take a moment and take a deep breath and come into your body and just hold that space for yourself? Do you want to open the window and listen to the birds singing? You know, what can you do to instigate an element of being more present in yourself and breaking a pattern? Because then when we do, we have a thought, then we can choose the way we want to continue that thought. Is at that moment, that thought, is that my truth? Is this love or is this joy? Is this peace or is it fear? And at that moment, you can go, right, well, actually, I don't want this fear. I don't want to feel worried and scared and everything else, or feel like there's something wrong with me, or whatever it is that the thought that may be coming through. And you go, I choose love. I choose joy. I choose peace. And you reaffirm that. You might want to say it out louder to be louder than the voice that is shouting in your ear that you're not good enough and worthy enough or anything else. And what you're doing by giving yourself that choice is saying, this is my truth, universe. This is what I'm aligning to. I don't want this anymore. This isn't my truth. It's the illusion that has made me think it's real. And through the fact that we're so bloody powerful, we have created what we dislike, what we don't like. We have created our fears through experiences because of that belief, because we realize how incredibly powerful we are. And so when you claim back your mental energy, when you come back into your present moment, when you come into your breath, when you come into your body, when you come in through the act of meditation, when you come in through the act of being outdoors and just listening to the birds and seeing and smelling and just using your senses, you start to come back into your body. You start to connect deep into your heart where you truly feel it. And this is the work that I do, is about, okay, how is it that you choose to feel? What is your intention? And people will say what they're feeling, what they want to do, or what they want to feel like, and they feel it in their body. That's it. It's there. It's already there. And then quite quickly afterwards, the resistance to that comes up. So somatically, it will show you, oh, I'm here, just here. Always have been here. And then it'll go, but. And then when we hear and feel that resistance, we change the narrative by going, thank you, resistance. Thank you for showing me where I'm restricting myself from joy, from love, unconditional love, whatever it was, the peace, the freedom that you're desiring. Thank you for showing me my resistance to that. And when you hold resistance in acceptance, resistance cannot exist when you're holding it in acceptance. And so you are so powerful through these conscious choices and these conscious moments. And so what initially started me and wanted I to share on this was the energy update, is that a couple of months ago, I could literally see like an atomic wave coming through the whole earth. Like you'd imagine a massive gust of wind going across the surface of the earth, just sweeping everything up and just getting rid of it. And it's not atomic wave as in nuclear, but it would be very atomic in terms of energy fields and magnetism, sweeping through all the debris, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, energetically. And it was hugely powerful. And I can only say to you, it's the spirit of the earth. She says no more. And she is clearing her way for our truth to reign, to love to reign once more. And I know that might fly in the face of what you think, well, what's going on in the world? That is because of this underlying powerful force of truth that is coming up. It's been stirring in the earth for a good 4 years, and she's getting bigger and greater and greater and greater. The more and more people wake up to their hearts, to their frequency of their hearts, this heart awakening, the more powerful it's becoming, because we're feeding that light to the spirit of the earth. And she's literally coming up and she's just sweeping all this shite, okay? And what I said a few years ago is like, we're not losing our shite, we're shifting it, okay? But that's only if you're conscious of it. Otherwise, you'll just get swept away with this energy field. You need to become the eye of the storm. You need to be discerning of your mind and what you're giving it away to. People, energies, and will be trying to take your mind. They will be creating distraction, distortion, confusion, fear. This is how they get into the brain. This is what was used through COVID. A whole load of confusion, a whole load of fear, and boom, you're in the subconscious psyche, okay? We have to claim back our power, our sovereignty, through connection to our body and reminding ourselves what is our truth. Reigning in our mind, consolidating our mind, recognizing where we're giving our energy away, and really calling it back. So in the Northern Hemisphere, we are coming through, we're navigating autumn, which is where I really felt the power of letting go is sweeping through, coming through, we'll be coming into winter. And so this whole process will be about letting go, consolidating one's energy, not withdrawing. Withdrawing feels like you're retracting in fear. And most of you probably want to feel like that. You just want to get out of this tempo. It is alienating, it's overwhelmed, it's burnout, you just can't hack. It's a really subsonic rave and you've had enough. Your neural system is like, I can't do this anymore. And your natural response will be, I just want to retract. I just want to withdraw and shut down. Okay. The difference that we need to do is actually call back our energy, but with an open heart still. And we don't fall into fear. That's the difference. This is how we need to consolidate, withdraw ourselves, but from an open-hearted, consolidated perspective, if this is making sense. So we're not calling into ourselves, we are literally stepping into ourselves, calling all our energies where we've given it away in any timeline, any incarnation, any moment, calling it back to self, consolidating self, and with this open heart of this light, this wholeness, this sovereignty. And so where you've given your thoughts away, where you've given to fear, where you might be holding shame and guilt that you don't even know, where you need to bring forgiveness in to cut those cords, taking responsibility but without the shame and the judgment. Okay, this is and taking responsibility of what is yours, not yours. You know, that is exceptionally powerful, and this is what I'm seeing as empaths are trying to hold on to it all, trying to keep the peace, trying to just try and do everything to make sure everything's more harmonic, because that has what's felt right for their neural systems. That's what they've had to do before for their lives, because that's the survival pattern. But we're not here to survive, we're here to thrive. And so this will equally be calling out to those beautiful empaths out there to say to you, is this your responsibility? Are you sacrificing your inner peace to keep the peace? Because if you haven't got the inner peace, there cannot be peace around you. And so you have to do the inner work to create the outer work. Okay. And so this is the wintering, this deep, deep part of selves that we need to be going through. And what showed me when empaths make this choice, when they choose their inner peace, their inner harmony, their neural system, their health, and start to let go of what they deemed as responsibility and call back to themselves, it creates a void. And then within that void is a space and a potential and opportunity for those that aren't taking responsibility for themselves to be able to. Because if you think about it, if empaths have been taking the responsibility for others, those others could not take responsibility for themselves. So we've kept ourselves in this really odd loop, right? As soon as that empath let go of that responsibility and hands it back into the void and goes, it's there, it's not mine, and it's offering it back into the center here, it enables those that haven't taken responsibility to finally take responsibility should they choose to. Okay, that's the rest is up to them. And so for this to happen, the empath has to find her inner safety, his inner safety, their inner peace and their calm amongst the potential storm. Because if you've been conditioned to do that because you weren't safe, this is now really getting deep into your neural system, into your amygdala, into your hippocampus, into the whole neural system, going, you're safe now. You're safe. And then when you realize you have that safety, then you make those choices. You can't do it just through intellect alone. You have to feel it. And this is what Daughters of the Golden Rose has done for me, as I've recorded 12 meditations for over 12 weeks, and following this light, the Sophia light within me, created this safety. And so I have recorded this for women in mind initially because it was all connected into the womb. However, I will be exploring this to be able to how we open this up for men, how we can invert the masculine into the feminine to hold it, because I know there's a lot of men out there that want to do this work, that they want to connect deep into themselves and do the work and the healing work. And so us women and men need to really come together for this. So if there is a man out there that's listening to this and actually wants to do this work too, there is Daughters of the Golden Rose, which you can obviously look at on the internet, on the website, the Infinity Health Hub. And then you can contact me directly and we can look at doing a few meditations that support you to how you can connect deeper into the feminine through your masculinity, which I think is just going to be hugely powerful as well. So from an energy perspective, we have this huge atomic wave, the spirit of the earth coming through, and she's just taking no shite and she's just clearing the decks. And this is why the world looks so peculiar and so chaotic and so stormy. It's because it's meant to. She is literally decluttering a whole entire earth, physical planes, energetic planes, emotional planes of all this crap, of all the illusions of fear. She is literally purging, right? And so will our bodies be doing exactly the same. We will be detoxing. We will be getting colds. We'll be getting illnesses. We'll be getting overwhelmed. Body is literally purging. And it just comes down to how conscious we are and how much more graceful this whole process is. Okay. And so this is calling us to take responsibility without the shame, be able to shift and release once and for all, and to ultimately choose unconditional love, and to break free from the illusion that is fear, and to finally realize who we are as sovereign beings and the power that we are. And the ones that are manipulating know how powerful we are. So our minds are being manipulated to create what they want, not what we want. So we really need to discern what we want and not give in to fear. Just not give in to it. So, because if we do, our thought, our emotions create. And so we need to be really discerning of what do we truly choose to create. You're the observer, you are the creator. So there we go, beautiful souls. There's a big update there for you of what's going on and how to navigate it. And if you need more support on this, which we all do, quite frankly, I have been doing years of recordings of meditations on the Infinity Health Hub. And the recent one that I channeled just after the full moon in Taurus, was about finding your north node within your body. And what was really interesting, when we were doing this, it shifted and all of a sudden there was no roots underneath my sacral area. There was literally in lotus pose with no roots or connection. I literally became into the void with the stars and I was floating. But what it was showing me was actually I needed to weight down on my coccyx to bring myself into an upright magnetized area. So otherwise I would have been spinning off my axis and spinning. Like if you can imagine this energy of no roots, you can just spin off into like wherever you go and it's chaotic. Whereas it showed me by being in this rooted energetic north node of the body, it kept me upright and it kept me very balanced. And then gradually roots appeared. They came through a lotus throne petals. That was the earth rising, the earth star chakra was rising to support. So for me, as I'm talking through that, it's literally, you need to get rid of all the systems and the roots that you have attached of your survival mechanism and all the infrastructures and money and everything that has us in the fear and the illusion of separation. And actually, because our neural systems have been based upon that, it will feel exceptionally scary and dysregulating when they start to disappear and start to fall down. And so we have to find our inner safety in our bodies. And then as those old, superficial, grounded parts of ourselves that we felt was our safety, it enables this truth, our true connection to who we are, to our bodies and to earth, to rise up and meet us. And so, and like I say, it looked like an earth star lotus holding us at the end. In fact, it ended up looking like a 5-star pentagon that actually, most interestingly, Venus and Earth, as they orbit, they create the 5, rose petal, which is the pentagon, which in pagan would have had the star. And that star is the spirit of the earth, the 5 elements. So there we go. That is what we're doing. And it's most beautiful because I've also created a scent called Spirit of the Earth, which was intuitively shown to me for the autumn equinox as the power of letting go. So all these little beautiful jigsaw puzzle pieces are all coming into play. And if you need support with this, I have the resources available to you. And through meditation, through the connection for your body, this isn't about escapism and getting out of our bodies. It's about actually getting deeper and deeper and deeper into our bodies. And that is when we find our safety. That's when we find our connection. So I hope this has been of help. And even if it's a matter that it's real, you've realized that you can break that pattern, that you can start to discern in what you connect to anymore. And what is your truth? And it may just have woken up a few parts of you that you might be asking a little more inquisitive questions right now. And if I can leave with you with your self-care, just bring your hands to your heart, take some breaths. Instantly my body goes, oh, you can feel how I've just stopped talking or slowing down. And you put your left hand underneath your right because your left is closer to your heart fascia. We're also bringing in a beautiful circuit with our hands. Use the extension of your heart. And you just take some breaths. Feel whichever parts of you that are sitting, contacting the earth. Thank the earth for holding you, the pure spirit of the earth for holding you. You can invite your heart to connect to the spirit of the earth, to purely, truly ground you to your truth, to your power, to your light, to your beauty. I feel like now my heart is just dropping down. It's dropping down in through my womb like beautiful light through the groin, and then just in awakening and connecting with that earth, the beautiful spirit that she is, that is of grace, of love. And here you choose. This is your choice. This is your power. So I choose love. I choose joy. And I choose peace. And as you come to your heart, this is about being able to receive this big heart awakening that we will be going through. Never wave, this atomic wave is opening our hearts. I am worthy of love. I'm worthy of joy. And I'm worthy of peace. Take a deep breath there. Any resistance to that, just thank it for being there. Those voices that tell you're not worthy, go, oh, thank you. How interesting. Be curious now. Be curious of your body. This is the aspect of love, to heal. You listen, you observe. When you observe, you're objective. So you don't have an emotional response, just observation. Be curious. And then you can bring your hands down to your legs, your feet, wherever you are, and you go, I am love. I am joy. And I am peace. Hell yeah. Okay. And so just bring that in, ground that in. My choice, I'm worthy to receive it, and I am it already. And so you can recite that as many times as you need to. For me, when I've had my dark moments, being on the floor, hoping the earth would just swallow me up, I would do these words. And in 5 minutes, I've got up thinking, what the hell was all that about? Because self-sabotage has been one of my patterns, okay? It's that making you feel crap, but nice, doing it, very peculiar. And self-blame, guilt, shame, all that tosh, basically. And so become aware of that pattern was powerful because, you know, it's not your truth. So I've recited that many times to get myself out of the hole that I was going down to. Because sometimes you just don't know how you're going to get yourself out. But if you sit and go, universe, this is my choice, your body, everything starts to shift to, well, that if that's your choice, we need to change it. We need to get to that. Incredible, right? Anyway, lots of love. Thank you for listening. And like I say, go check out the infinityhealthhub.com. There's the free 7-day trial if you're not already on it. And you can experience these different meditations, the different articles, which is all about sovereignty through the body, through the lens of health, ultimately. Okay. And to make people realize how powerful you are. So big love. And see you soon. Take care.